Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a quick little video for you where I'm going to be doing my May reading recap or wrap up. I still don't know. Is it called a recap or a wrap up? I don't know. This past month I read 6 books, which the previous month in what was it? April, I read 7 books. I only read 6 books this month. I don't know why. Like I don't know, but 6, but they were amazing books. Okay, so I'm going to go through and tell you how I felt about them and whether they're good or not. And I think you can tell a lot of them were annotated, and so that's a good sign. It was a great reading month, honestly. I am very happy. So one thing in this month, I discovered a new favorite author, which if you watched my last video, you will know. It's Ali Hazelwood. I discovered Ali Hazelwood maybe 2 months ago or something, but I dove in to her romance book universe and I'm a convert. I officially love romance books. I didn't before. I liked dark romance or romance fantasy kind of stuff, but now just regular old romance, I'm here for it. So the first book I read this past month in May was Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. And I think this is such a cute cover and I was obsessed with annotating it. 1, it was just a great book to annotate, but then 2, I love matching the tabs to the book. Like that just, it scratches an itch in my brain and it just makes me so happy. So this was a 5-star read for me. When I said this was a great month for reading, I know I only read 6 books, but the books I read, 5-star read. This was such a good book. I don't know if it's because I went into it with low expectations, because this was the first official just regular romance book that I've ever read, and it hit so well. One thing, if you haven't seen my other videos, I mean if you have, you've heard me say this a million times, but Ali Hazelwood's writing is so good. And it's not because it's like some deep, like I read for the feels, okay? I'm not hard to please, but she is so funny. She has my sense of humor, or I have her sense of humor, or whatever. We share the same type of sense of humor and I'm obsessed. It's funny and just, oh, it's so good. And this is like, honestly, I want to say the first time, because it's like really my first ever romance, true, just plain old romance. The MMC wasn't some dark, morally gray guy, which is usually my type in books, and he wasn't, and I loved him. And this was obviously heavy on chess. I don't give a crap about chess, like I don't do that kind of stuff, but it was still so entertaining. So if you don't know anything about this, it is about these 2 people. The FMC, she used to play chess and then she stopped because something traumatic happened, and then her friend kind of sucks her back into playing again, and she plays against this guy, our MMC, who is like the best chess player in the world, and she beats him like that, like quickly wipes the floor with him, beats him. So from there on, she's still trying to fight, like she doesn't want to go back into chess, but people are trying to pull her into it, and she's like broke as a joke. So there's some, you know, she's like, I don't want to do it, but if I can do it for money, I really need the money, and blah 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 blah. So basically we go, it's kind of rivals to lovers, because you know they are, you know, when you're playing against someone, it's a rival, but it's not like heavy on that in my opinion, but it is kind of rivals to lovers, and just her getting, you know, getting over what happened to make her fall back in love with chess. And I don't know, it's just such a good book. It's funny, it's not too deep, not too heavy, and it's a good time. So I highly recommend this, 5 stars. Alright, the next book that I read is The Most Famous Girl in the World by Eamon Hari. I'm not even going to try to say this name because I'm going to butcher it, but it's right there. This book, yeah, I really liked it. I had this book because I got it for free from TikTok. Like, I got it sent to me from TikTok shop, and I was like, yeah, I'll take it because it's beautiful. Sure. I knew nothing about it. I just took it because it was free and pretty. When I started researching like stuff about it, I really didn't see much of anything at all. I saw that it was kind of thriller. It was a social media satire, or it's like, if you don't know what that means, which I didn't at first, basically like it's poking fun of and like making fun of social media stereotypes and stuff like that. So I saw that there was some mystery and just, I don't know, I was like, I don't have a clue, but I decided to read it just because I was in between books with my videos, and I was like, let me just pick this up and see how it goes. I also forgot that I read that it had romance in it. I forgot that. So when that came into play, I was pleasantly surprised. So basically we have mystery, thriller, comedy, romance. I love all of those things, like all of those things are my favorite things in the world. So basically we have this girl, the most famous girl in the world, who is not our MMC, but this most famous girl in the world. She is basically a criminal in the rich people circles, and our MMC is a journalist, and she basically like outs her and she goes to prison, but then she gets out. So at the beginning of the book, basically the girl gets out of prison, and so the rest of the book, this girl who was a criminal gets incredibly famous, and she's beloved and is driving our MMC insane. She can't stand her. Obviously, she's a criminal. You know, she's like, she shouldn't be out of prison, all this kind of stuff. And it's driving her mad. Like, why does everyone in the world love her so much? She's a criminal. She's a known criminal, and the whole world loves her. And then she comes and meets our MMC. Have I been saying MMC? I mean FMC. Our MMC, he is a cop, detective, like that kind of thing. And they run into each other both by accident, both trying to track this famous girl down, and they're both trying to get to her first because, you know, like the cops, they want her first, she wants her first because she wants to write about her. So we have another Rivals to Lovers, and it's basically their journey of who can get to her first. We're trying to get to her but we can't, and why is she so famous when she's a known criminal, and all this kind of stuff. Such a good read. A twist, like a crazy twist, and the ending is just, oh my god, jaw on the floor. Like, it was crazy. And I did not expect that from this book that I have heard nothing about. But if you can't tell, I ate it up. It was so good. So good. So this was what I rated it. When I say I rated it 4.5 stars, because not 5 stars, just because sometimes certain things dragged out a little bit, but it was just so good. So 4.5 stars. I highly recommend it if you enjoy any of that stuff that I just told you. Okay, next book, Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. Oh my gosh. I know this is like super popular and most people loved it. I heard some people didn't, but 5 stars. And I swear I'm not just jumping on a bandwagon. I have very specific reasons why I loved this book so much, and not just because like, oh, it's nice and spicy and it was a popular book. No, like it was spicy, which I should say, let me backtrack for a second. This book, not spicy. There's romance in it, but it's closed door, it's YA. This, spicy, not YA. So this, very spicy, not YA. They call it a steamy college romance. So on top of just the Ali Hazelwood writing, which was so funny and just amazing, it was spicy, and the spicy was really nice. But all right, so we have our FMC and MMC. They are both in college, and they are college athletes in the, how do you say, aquatic division. So she is a diver and he is a swimmer, and they basically meet via mutual friend, and they start a relationship that's purely physical because this isn't like a spoiler. The spicy bits, which maybe you can kind of tell, is very BDSM. So if you don't like that kind of stuff, or like whatever, then, but something about that made it where it kind of read like a dark romance, because usually dark romance is very BDSM-y, but it's not. The MMC is a great guy. Like, he's not some dark, morally gray, you know, no. He is a great guy. Basically, they both have these darker desires, like the BDSM type of stuff that a lot of people aren't comfortable with, but they both have those desires, and so that's why they kind of go into a purely physical relationship. And we go, it's not friends to lovers, because they weren't really friends, they didn't know each other. It's not enemies or rivals to lovers, it's just like acquaintances to lovers kind of thing. So as you can imagine, starting off a relationship that's purely physical, inevitably someone's going to catch feelings, you know, so we're just in that whole thing. So this was a 5-star read. It was so good. I connected big time with the main character, and not because I'm, you know, an athlete, because I'm nowhere close to an athlete, but just in general. Yeah, so that's all I'm gonna say. 5 stars. It's not a deep plot. I mean, there's still plot to it, but it's not some deep plot, some big twist. It's just a nice romance. Okay, next book, Unravel Me. So the second book in the Shatter Me series. Yes, I loved it. I loved it. 4 stars. I'm gonna say 4.5. Okay, The reason it's not 5 stars is because it did drag a little bit in the beginning for me, and also it had been a minute since I read Shatter Me, so I was like kind of trying to get back into the book. But the reason it jumps up to a 5 stars because honestly, days after I finished reading this, I kept thinking about it. Like I could not stop thinking about this book. And I did a 2-hour reading sprint thing for TikTok, and I read a lot in that time, and then usually it would be like, okay, I just read 100 something pages for 2 hours, I need a break. No, I kept reading longer into the night. I read like 200 something pages, which for me is a lot in a day. It's just because I started just eating it up. It was good. There's not much I can say about it, you know, without giving away too much from the first book. So if you don't know about the series in general is about, it's dystopian, YA, like kind of sci-fi and romance, but it's not incredibly heavy on the romance. It's heavier on the sci-fi and dystopian in my opinion, but there is romance. And we're following a girl, the main character is someone who has this ability, and the ability she thinks of as a curse is if you touch her skin, or like her skin touches you, whatever, you die. So she has a lethal touch, and obviously that's going to be hard to live with. And so we're just following that girl and the ups and downs of the dystopian world, like just the world's falling apart. And yeah, so there's not too much I can say about this specific book without giving away the first book, but just in general, the Shatter Me series, this book was really good. I really enjoyed it, and I heard the third book's like one of the best ones, and this is the second, so I'm excited to continue the series. But yeah, 4.5 stars. Okay, next, There Is No Devil. So this is book 2 in the, what was it, the Sinner's Duet, I believe is what it's called. The first book I really enjoyed. I read it last month. I loved it. This one, not so much. And not because it was bad. It was just like, honestly, the 2 books should have just been combined into one because there wasn't much in this book that was really necessary. We kept following the main couple, which was just like, okay, well, we already got I got satisfied with them from the first book. Like, I didn't really need that much more. And yeah, we left on a little bit of a cliffhanger in the last book, but we didn't get to, you know, finishing up that cliffhanger until like almost at the end of the book. So it's like, really, you could have cut all this front part out and added this to the other book and just had one nice standalone book. So this one for me honestly was 3 stars because like it wasn't bad, it was just kind of unnecessary, and I was expecting, you know, to continue with the action and answers and, you know, thrilling kind of part of it sooner. The rest was just kind of fluff, I guess. And while I loved the first book, I just didn't care to keep going on with it, minus the, you know, finishing off the story. But if you don't know anything about this little series, this duet, we follow 2 artists, and one's a billionaire and one's broke and trying to become an artist. He's a murderer, he's a serial killer. So there's just this whole, he finds her, like they eventually kind of reluctantly get together, enemies to lovers, not even rivals, it's more like enemies to lovers, and it's really good. I loved the first one. This one is just kind of unnecessary, and honestly, if you read the first book and you're not like dying to know more, you don't need to read that one. But it's a quick read. It's really short, just to kind of finish it up, but it really should have just been one book. Okay, and then the last book that I read is the book that I'm actually intentionally matching my outfit to, and it's Love Theoretically. Oh my gosh, this book. It's another Ali Hazelwood book. Yes, so if you see previously on my channel, my last video was where I read Ali Hazelwood books for a week. So that's why there's so many in this month. But oh my goodness, yeah, I devoured this book. I loved it. It was so good. 5 stars. So far, okay, I've read 4 Ali Hazelwood books. One was 4.5 stars, the rest were 5. Like, so she's clearly my favorite author, auto buy, like if she writes it, I read it kind of thing. This was so good. So we're following 2 physicists. One's a theoretical physicist and one's an experimental physicist. You get it. And this is Rivals to Lovers. Our main character, she's a theoretical physicist, so she's like really smart, but she's broke because she's still in the beginning of her career. And so she's trying to get this job at MIT that's going to pay a lot better, just be a much better job. He is the brother of someone who she is fake dating because she has this side gig because she's broke where she fake dates people who just like need to hire her for an event to be a fake girlfriend. So one of her clients that is a recurring client is this man's brother, and she can't stand this man. And then she finds out he's one of the people who's going to determine if I get this new job. And she thinks he hates her. It's kind of like, oh crap, they're kind of butt heads. It's mostly she doesn't like him. This is a he falls first and harder kind of book, and I'm obsessed with that trope. But we just kind of follow how that goes, and it is so good. It's so good. I love him. And again, I love the He Falls First thing. It's so nice. There's not much to give away. I mean, it's such a good book. The ending is beautiful. All of her endings are beautiful in my opinion. And it's sweet, cozy, comfy, and I loved it. I still think about this book. 5 stars. Oh. So here's all the books that I read in May. I recommend all of them except maybe this one. I recommend the duet. Like, read the first one, just the second one's whatever. But a great reading month. Great. I mean, we had 3 5 stars, 2 4.5 stars, and a 3 star. That is such a good reading month. Like, this is so good. Let me know if you've read any of these or if I've just convinced you to read any of these down in the comments. I would love to know. Stay tuned. Next week's video is going to be me finishing books. Well, me reading books and why can't I talk? It's me finishing series that I'm in the middle of. You know, that whole trend that's going around. So that's going to be up next week. I am excited with the books that I read. So anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.